Hey guys, I'm getting into some hives today, and I thought I would share with you a little bit why this time of year is like Christmas for beekeepers. So we are on the cusp of what is called the nectar flow or the honey flow. So what that means is that at that time, bees have access to so much nectar in the ecology that they can then make honey off of it. And it doesn't happen very often. In fact, we have not had a significant nectar flow here in Central Texas since last June. So we've been, 10, 11 months where our bees have not made any honey. On that note, I don't know if going into a business where you only get product really once, maybe twice a year if you're lucky, is the smartest. But anyway, I digress. So we are starting to see little spurts of the nectar flow here in Central Texas. We usually see that in late March and into April, and we have not. We've had some very hungry bees, but we're finally starting to see like little spurts, and we've got a yard here where we're seeing a little bit of that today. So I thought I would show you what that looks like. This is not the big one yet. I suspect we're still a few weeks at least away from the big nectar flow when bees can make honey, but we're relieved because at least now they're bringing in enough to feed themselves so we aren't having a supplemental feed. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, as you can see here, this comb is pretty dark. So this is brood comb. So there's developing bees in each one of these cells. But it's pretty dark, right? So brood comb gets very dark very quickly because with every generation of brood that is laid, they line the cells with a bit of resin, and then a little bit of the cocoon and such is left when the bee hatches out. Now let me show you this frame here. Now, this is brood comb, don't get me wrong. There's eggs in most all of these cells. If I get in close, you can see the little eggs in every cell. But look at the color difference. So I know that our bees have been on a flow fairly recently, probably in the last 2 weeks, but I don't think they're still on a flow here. So you could see how this comb is much wider, but even it's a little bit darker than we would see if this comb was produced in the last few days. You could see the little dark spots in the middle there. You can see around the edge here that comb is pretty white and new. But overall, so this is what we'd like to see this time of year. This comb, you can see the differences even more starkly. So you can see the brood comb there in the middle that's been used a bit, and then around the edge here, this pretty white comb. And again, there's eggs in all of these as well. So this is a fun frame. So you can see the brood here in the middle, and then look around the edges. I don't know if you can tell from where you are, but they've actually started drawing out the top of the edges more deep. So you can see here the brood comb in the middle, and then how this comb at the top juts out. So when bees start to lay in nectar and make honey out of it, they actually will build their comb a lot thicker, as you can see here. So in the corner of this frame, they've actually started to dehydrate the nectar and make a little honey. So you could see under those bees there, they've started to cap those cells. So that's pretty exciting. But we'll start to see a whole lot more of that here in Central Texas in the next month or so. But you can see here, these bees got in a little bit of a flow and are bringing in a little bit of nectar that they're making into honey.